The 18-day war is finally over. The Pandava army has won. But the man who is supposed to claim the crown sits weeping on the steps of his new throne. Yudhishthira and his brothers have successfully reclaimed the capital city of Hastinapur. They survived the bloodiest conflict in their history, yet to the new king, the victory feels entirely hollow. Every square inch of the empire he just inherited was bought with the blood of his family. To win this crown, he had to order the slaughter of his own beloved mentors, his uncles, and his cousins. The sheer scale of the massacre has left him paralyzed by survivor's guilt. The trauma of outliving his extended family has shattered his will to lead the kingdom he fought so hard to win. The victory that ended the age produced a completely broken victor. The man destined to save the state has suddenly become its greatest liability. This diagram shows the devastating post-war reality of the Kuru dynasty. Millions of foot soldiers are dead, the kingdom's infrastructure is shattered, and as you can see, 90% of the empire's leadership just turned to dust. Staring into this massive political vacuum, Yudhishthira proposes a drastic solution. He decides to abandon the throne entirely, leave the city, and live out the rest of his days as an ascetic in the forest. His brothers and advisors are horrified. To them, walking away to seek personal spiritual peace is a dangerous dereliction of duty. Personal grief is a luxury a shattered state simply cannot afford. If Yudhishthira leaves the throne empty, the fragile, traumatized kingdom will immediately collapse into total anarchy. Before the king can walk away, Krishna steps in. He needs to intellectually dismantle Yudhishthira's central argument, the belief that fighting the war was a horrific sin. To understand his counter-argument, look at this diagram illustrating Dharma, or cosmic order, which is separate from simple personal morality. When society is overwhelmed by tyranny and collapse, the scales of Dharma are tipped dangerously toward chaos. Krishna argues that society required this violent intervention to shatter the hold of tyranny and restore the balance of the world. Mourning dead family members is a completely human reaction, but framing the necessary protection of the innocent as a sin shows a profound misunderstanding of how the universe actually functions. A true leader must sometimes sacrifice their own personal moral comfort to fulfill their universal duty to protect the weak. To truly grasp this, the lesson moves back to the desolate, corpse-strewn battlefield of Kurukshetra, where the dying patriarch Bhishma lies pinned to the earth. Words alone won't cure Yudhishthira's despair. He has to learn directly from Bhishma, the man who designed the old world and sacrificed his own body for its laws. Bhishma introduces the complex doctrine of Raja Dharma. This is the specific, unforgiving code of conduct required of a monarch, leaving no room for personal sorrow. His core lesson is brutal. The moment you put on the crown, you cease to be an individual. Your mind, your body, and your grief now belong entirely to your subjects. The role demands policy over pity. Raja Dharma demands a total psychological sacrifice. A ruler buries their own trauma to act as the load-bearing pillar for a nation in shock. Yudhishthira accepts the crown. He is taking on a solemn, heavy burden. The grim reality of his new reign sets in. He is governing a cemetery, tasked with rebuilding a viable future, using only the ashes of his own ancestors. Victory in this epic brings a terrifying volume of responsibility. Power attained without sacrifice results in tyranny. But wielding power through a broken heart fulfills the most difficult demand of human duty. Now that the king is finally ready to rule, we look back to the battlefield, because the dying mentor's journey is not quite over. Bhishma remains pinned to his bed of arrows under the night sky. He is using a divine boon to hold off his own death, waiting until the sun shifts into the auspicious northern hemisphere. This cosmic waiting period, known as Uttarayan, leaves us suspended. The king has taken his throne, but the final string attaching the old world to the new is just waiting to be cut.